What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing this morning? I am obviously driving to work and about to get my day started. So, I slept pretty good last night. How did y'all sleep? Did y'all get enough rest? Are you having trouble getting rest? What are you doing before you go to sleep? So, I am trying to kind of get back in the swing of things. I managed to get way off schedule, off routine, I should say. I pretty much had a routine of, to help me get rest, to help me get everything done. And at some point, I think it was a gradual situation. Things got kind of thrown to the wind. And so now I am just kind of hanging out. So I have to get back on my schedule. My workout schedule got jacked up, and eventually I just stopped going. My meal prepping, meal planning schedule got messed up. Part of that had to do with the fact that, one thing that bothers me is waste. And I was meal planning and meal prepping, and my husband would take something to work, and either somebody would buy something for everyone, or he would decide to go out and get something to eat, and then he'd wind up bringing the food back home. And I'm like, no, that's nasty. Don't put that in the refrigerator. Or either you need to mark it so you'll know to take it back with you for tomorrow. I don't, once it leaves the house, I don't want it back in the house. And so I just felt like there was a lot of that going on, because I can't really eat a lot of food. So if I meal prep, he has to make sure that he's eating with me, because otherwise a lot of the food will wind up going in the trash, and I'm not happy about that. So that was one of the reasons I started kind of veering off. As far as now, he'll if I when I cook, he don't have a problem eating. I guess he's gotten to a point now where he likes it better if I cook and then we have leftovers and then I cook something else. I don't really like cooking every single day anymore. I used to didn't mind it when it was a house full of us, because I didn't have to worry about a lot of food being left over, and things like that. So we would have dinner, and then we'd have enough leftovers for us to take lunch. And then if there was anything else left, my son would take it out, and I just didn't have to worry about it. When I say take it out, I mean he would just devour it. So, that took care of that for me. But my kids are no longer at home, so it's a struggle because I don't like being wasteful. So anyway, so I have to try to figure that out, because I don't know what to do, because it's easier for me if I meal plan and meal prep, because then I don't have to worry about what I'm gonna eat. But it's not cost effective for me to meal plan and meal prep, because my husband has gotten accustomed to eating whatever I cook. So I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to fix where I cook and it's enough food for me to have for a few days for lunch and dinner, or whatever, and then enough for him, because the way that he's eating is so random. So say for example, if I don't plan for dinner and lunch for him when I meal prep, and then he takes something out of the refrigerator, it leaves me without food. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm in a little bit of a dilemma, but I'm not really worried about it right now. I'm just not doing it, and I'll have to figure out a system that works. So anyway, that schedule got off. My workout schedule, I was going to the gym every day except Sunday, and I had a routine: upper body, core, lower body. Then I start all over. So I had 2 upper body days, 2 core days, and 2 lower body days. And then Sunday was my rest day. and I was doing both. I initially, when I started going to the gym, because I'm trying to condition my body, I would start off just doing, I wouldn't do any strength training. I would start off doing aerobic, some type of cardio exercise, just to kind of get my body used to going to the gym, and it would be lengthy. So I would start out with doing a half an hour, stay on the treadmill, and if after a half an hour I felt like I could go a little bit more, then I would just go for as long as I could. The next time I went to the gym, I would definitely do a half an hour, and I would push myself to do another 15 minutes, and if 45 minutes was comfortable and I could go a little bit more, then I would. So the next time I go to this, so every day I go to the gym, I would increase it by 15 minutes. So eventually I would get up to doing an hour of cardio. Once I got on the treadmill or on the bike or whatever I was doing for my cardio workout, and I was comfortably doing cardio for an hour, like with my eyes closed, literally, like going there and do the cardio, and then I felt like I could do more, then it was time for me to move on to my strength training. For me, that usually took about I could go the first week of working out, and as long as I did that every single day, day 1 would be half an hour, day 2 would be 45 minutes, and then day 3 would be an hour. And by day 4, I will be doing my full hour, a committed full hour. So there's no 30 minutes and then see what I could do. It's by day 4, I'm doing my hour, and that's just all there is to it. Usually by day 4, it wasn't a struggle because, I'm kind of getting in the groove of things. Day 5, I'm doing my hour. Day 6, I'm doing my hour. Then I rest on day 7. So the next week that I go, I would do half an hour of cardio, and then I would start my strength training doing upper body. And then the next day I would do half an hour cardio, and then I would do my core. And then the next day I would do half an hour cardio and then lower body. So by the time I got to my upper body strength training for the next, that would be probably day 4, I was doing 45 minutes of cardio. So you see where I'm going? So by the time I'm actually in my routine, I'm doing an hour of cardio, and then I'm doing my upper body, core, and lower body strength training. So the objective is for me to do an hour of cardio, and then whatever strength training I'm going to do that day. I've never gotten to a point where I do an hour of cardio and then I do all of my strength training at one time, because as a personal preference, I don't like that. I like doing upper body, core, lower body. Doesn't matter what order it is, but I like breaking it up like that because I feel like my body, those muscles that I'm not using, have a chance to rest, so that by the time I get back around to the day that I'm working those muscles, I don't feel like I'm overdoing it. I have to do that for myself because I've done this. Even though there were periods where I didn't work out, I did work out, back and forth like that. I know my body well enough to know that if I try to do an hour of cardio and then do a full body strength training, I'm gonna wind up in a hospital, because it's too much. My body, I don't care how strong I am or how fit I am, my body is not like that. It always makes me, and plus keep in mind, I have arthritis in several portions, my back, my hips, my feet, my hands, that's just stupid to me. Why would you knowingly have all these ailments and things going on with you and you're pushing yourself like that? Because if I push myself too hard and I start feeling it, like in my joints and stuff, it takes me about 2 weeks to recover. And that's not even recovering at 100%. It takes me about 2 weeks to recover, and it is not good, because the job that I have, although I do work on a computer, I am moving around all day because I'm dealing with potentially training people. I'm dealing with meetings. I'm just dealing with a lot of things that cause me to be up and down from my desk all day. And if I'm hurting to the point where I can barely walk and I have to increase my medication, not only is that good, not only is that a bad thing for me in general, but it's bad because I have to take medication that could potentially cause me to have stomach problems later on in life because I have to take so much of it in order for me not to be in pain. It's just not a good, it doesn't make, that's not common sense to me. I mean, you have to exercise common sense. And I know people say, well, if you push yourself and, once you hit a certain point, you're fit enough where you can, no, maybe that works for you, but it doesn't work for me. So anyway, that's not a rant. That's just, explaining things. So I kind of have to get back into my workout routine. I have to figure out what's going to happen with, the meal prepping situation. Oh my God, my chores. I am, I am OCD, and I am also a germaphobe, and we're not even going to talk about other phobias and crap that I got going on. And I don't know. It's like all that stuff just took a vacation because it's not that my house is not clean, but I was on a schedule. There were certain days I was doing certain things, and it was just all sorts of stuff that was going on in my house. Everything was very regimented. And my bad, I ain't see you back there. Everything was very regimented. So now things are not so regimented because Toni is all over the place. And Toni is all over the place. And I have to get myself back together because, this is not who I am. So anyway, I said all that to say that, sometimes in life, your things kind of change, and it just depends on what all you have going on, and how invested you are into remaining organized and all that sort of thing. And I am a very organized person. I believe in being organized. I believe in making sure. I'm a little glowy this morning, y'all, because I didn't have my air on. Whenever I have my air on, y'all can hear it in the speaker, and so that's, for me, it's annoying. So I did try a different hairstyle this morning. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, yeah, so it's good to be, I am a very organized person. It's good to be organized. It's good to be, where you have a system, where you want to, prevent chaos in your home and things like that. And so, I don't feel chaotic. I feel free. I feel like I'm just, woo, and I've never had that before. I've always had to be very regimented, very organized, very detailed, very specific about everything because, being a mom and being a wife and having to go to work and having your business, that is the only way in my mind I was able to keep everything together. That's the only way I was able to, for everything to have a space of time for me to do what I need to do. And so now that I don't have all those things, I go to work every day. Yes, I'm still a mom, but to adult children who have their own life. I'm still a wife, but, me and my husband, we have this understanding about, what it is that I do and what it is that he does. And we just don't make a big fuss about, what's going on with each other. I'm there if he needs me. He's there if I need him. We just may not necessarily be in the same room. And at some point in the evening, we come together. And there's been times where we had to remind ourselves that we had to get him to go to work because, we would go and just kind of lay in the bed and wind up chit-chatting even to the point till we look up and it's like, oh my God, we are going to kick ourselves in the morning, because it's like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So, and I get up at 5. So I was just, those days I'd be dragging my butt saying, Dad, but it was all day long. I would be laughing and smiling, because even though I'm dog tired, I will remember some of the things that we talked about. And so those are the kinds of memories you want to build, because you don't always want to be so busy where you don't, you just can't connect with the other person. So anyway, I'm going to get in here and maybe I'll continue this conversation once I get off work, but we'll see. Either that or story time. So we'll see y'all later. Bye.